Hi YouTube, it's Joe here from South East London. It is Thursday morning, and I'm just whizzing over what I sold yesterday and a couple of things that I picked up. As I said to you, I wasn't going to keep doing these videos, but sales have been really good, and also just mention a couple of milestones which I've hit this week, which is pretty cool. So I'll show you what I've sold. Actually sold a couple of pairs of jeans, which is great because I've not sold jeans for a little while actually, despite having about, I don't know, 25, 30 pairs listed. So it's really great to actually get a couple of pairs out the door. So both these pairs are 501s. I think I might have listed them slightly more expensive and then just knocked the price down over the last month or so when they're not selling. But I got 20 quid for this sort of engineered blue pair of 30 501s. And then this pair of 30 501s, stonewash ones, I got 25 quid for them. Both with free shipping, so they'll both go with my Hermes £2.80 postage. This Friends board game, which Friends game, which I told you about, the actual one which is based on the program, the one Ross invented that lost the girls their apartment. It was sort of sealed inside, and I thought I'd listed it already, but I just checked back over some old photos, and I hadn't actually listed it, so I put it on there, and I was looking at what they'd sold for. They'd sold for about 7, 8, 10, 12 quid, but mine had sort of, a lot of the cards were sealed, so I put it on at 20 quid. And that sold within an hour or so, so maybe I undervalued it slightly. But again, when you've paid a couple of pounds for something, just keeping it moving, getting out the door, most important thing. Sold this bundle of SNES games. I put these 3 premium games together. I've got about 5 bundles of them listed like this, and I got £59.50 for these 3, and that's sort of £20 a game, and that is pretty much top end of what you're going to be able to get for those. And they're going to New Zealand, and the guy's paying recorded delivery for those. I was pretty sure that most of these, if I did sell them, were going to go to New Zealand, Australia, Norway, those sort of countries. And so of the 3 sets I had, this is probably one of the ones which is in slightly worse condition. I mean, it's got a bit of damage there, and this cart is slightly yellow, but I don't know if he'd noticed the other bundles which I had, but that was the one he bought. I actually put a number on the listing and then in pencil write it on the back of the carts, and then just lick your finger, and that just comes off easily. You can just rub that off. So it's just sort of like a handy way of, rather than having to search through 20 carts and figuring out which one they bought, just a nice way to keep them referenced like that. So yeah, so £59.50 for that. That's the first one of those I've sold, despite having them on there for about 28 days of the month. But yeah, really pleased with that. And I'll just relist the other ones, and it's good to know they do sell at that price. Another couple of SNES games I sold. Buster Loose got £6.95 for that one, and the Addams Family got about, I think, similar sort of price, £6.95 for those with free shipping, so they'll just go UK large letters. This is a bit of a mystery. I sold this game already to somebody, and I thought I'd post it to them, and I specifically remember writing out their address because they had a really strange name and they lived not far from where I used to live. And then I got an open case saying that they hadn't received their game. Now, I did just message him and say, did I send you a different game? Did I send you the wrong game? But he hasn't replied to that, so I'm going to have to actually just double check my Game Boy games which I have in stock and the ones which I have listed, and try and figure out which one I actually sent to him. But I'm just going to have to resend him this one before the case closes. So yeah, slightly irritating, but everyone makes little mistakes every now and then, but not too difficult to fix, and it's only a £3.95 game, even if I just had to refund him outright. Sold this bundle of demo discs, which I picked up at the weekend. I didn't really know the value of them. I didn't really want to get into sort of listing them all individually and hanging on to them for ages. I paid £2 for the lot of them, got 20 quid with free shipping, and I took out 2 good ones. There was 2 games which were probably discs which were probably worth selling by themselves. I think I've got them listed for about 15 quid as well. So yeah, money back on that already, which is great. In this box, I've boxed it up already. Not great to look at, but was the Sega Dreamcast, which I picked up with the Samba de Amigo bundle. I paid 60 quid for the lot of it. I listed the Dreamcast for 50 quid with free shipping, and it sold pretty quickly. Yeah, there it is there. There was a guy, and he was a little bit twitchy, if I'm really honest. He messaged me about 3 times before he even bought the game, saying, you know, if I buy it, will you wrap it really well? Will you put it like this? Does it have all the poly bags? Is the box perfect? Da, da, da. And then you know, I hadn't replied to him because he'd only been on there for like 10 minutes. And I hadn't even seen his messages. And then he says, oh, I've bought it, but I really hope it's perfect, and the box is mint, and it's got this, this, and this. And sometimes these buyers who are like that can either be the best buyers in the world or an absolute nightmare. Best buyers in the world that they end up getting what you know, the item, and they can't thank you enough, and they're really amazed by it. Or, you know, they just question after question. It was a bit odd that he sort of paid for it and then was still asking questions of like, what was the box like? Did it have this flap? Did it have that bit? Were all the bags included? But we will see. So it was in pretty good condition, and it did have a lot of the bags and stuff like that. Maybe again I undervalued it. I put it on at 50 quid just because I wanted it out the door, really. Just want to keep things moving. Like the amount of stock I've got, I just need to keep shifting stuff, and there's always more stuff to pick up. So yeah, I was quite pleased with that, but maybe I did sort of undervalue it. But looking at what other ones had sold for, and this one didn't have a controller. It did have 3 games with it, but they were all pretty bottom end games, not really worth selling by themselves. So, I was happy to get 50 quid for it. I've got one other game with that bundle called Dr. Driller, which is about £10 game, and then I've got Samba de Amigo. So if I sell Dr. Driller for about 10 quid, I'm almost free rolling on Samba de Amigo, which is worth a couple of 250 quid. So not bad levels of profit on that all told. So yeah, that's gone for 50 quid, which is quite good. Picked up a couple of bits yesterday, just like after I posted stuff. Nothing, mate. Well, I think nice pair of trainers, really nice pair of Brooks trainers. These are Ghost 7. Brooks is like a specific running maker of trainers, and sort of involved with the marathon and going to these shops and seeing how expensive like these New Balance, Mizuno, Asics, Brooks trainers are. I realised there was some good money in these, and the tread is actually excellent. It's got a little bit of dirt residue in the tread. They've also been worn a little bit, but they are brilliant. And I did look them up because I don't know everything about every pair of trainers, like some people seem to think. But Ghost 7s are the newest sort of Ghost trainer in that range. It's things like you get Asics, you get gel Kayanos, and they release a new one pretty much every season. And some of the old ones, the ones with the old numbers on, they're just not worth quite as much as the new ones. So it's always worth just double checking that number. So yeah, and as soon as I started typing Brooks Ghost into eBay, Brooks Ghost 7 was sort of like the top search. So I assumed that they were the newest ones. So that was great. So yeah, I paid 7 quid for those. Knew they're about £110 trainer. People selling them new on eBay for about 70 quid, so should get about 35 to 40 for those, so that was really nice. So yeah, Brooks, a make well worth keeping your eye out. I've had a few pairs of Brooks in the past, so yeah, they're not bad. Running trainers, you've got to be a bit careful with the condition, because people don't want to buy ones which have obviously been run into the ground or sort of moulded to somebody else's foot, but should do alright with those. And then just 3 little bits of media. Empire Earth 2, this was 50p, and I only picked it up because it was sealed. Should get about 6 quid back on that. Oblivion on the Xbox 360. Maybe I shouldn't have bothered with this. I still seem to be sort of picking these games up, and the value of them is just, there's not a lot of value in them, but it was only 95p. And I think the reason I picked it up was because in the shop they had this on the PS3 for £9.95, and then on the Xbox 360 they had it for 95p. So I felt obliged to buy it. But yeah, I probably should have left it. It was really strange, that game, like it's at that shop, it had some PS3 games, I say, all priced at like £9.95, and I wasn't reading it wrong, is what they were saying. And then when most of their DVDs and PCs and games and stuff like that are 95p, so yeah, and then they had this Wii Batman at 95p as well, so pick that up, that's about a £6 game. So, all in all, not a huge amount of money in any of those, but easy listings, just sort of one photo listings. I did do a few listings last night. I got some sort of PC big box games. I put some on as a bundle. I did some of my old PC games and listed them. And a question I get about PC games every now and then is, which I don't know everything about them, but is about the codes. Some games, they're linked to a Steam account online, and I think you can only use the disc or the code once, whereas some of the older games you can reuse the codes, and you normally find them on the back of the manual or sort of inside the inside bit of the box or something like that. They might be stuck on there. So I mean, I don't know the answer to all of these. I mean, the best bet is that just Google it. If you buy a game or you want to know about a game, if it should have a code, just Google it and it should tell you where that is. So yeah, those are my pickups, those are my sales. In terms of milestones, I actually hit 3 milestones this week. Not to do with running. I've got 2,500 feedback, which I mean, doesn't represent really the number of sales I've got. That's just the number of feedback I've had. But it's nice to sort of tick marks like that off of. And then thank you to everybody who's been subscribing on YouTube. I'm now actually, yesterday I went over 500, no, 2 days ago I went over 500 subscribers and only just noticed it today. So yeah, really pleased with that. Thank you for everyone for subscribing and watching. And as I say, thank you for those who have supported the marathon and sponsored me in that. That's really kind of you. There will be another link. Sorry, I'm going to keep plugging it. There will be a link at the top of this page. I'm running the London Marathon for the charity which I work for. Do please feel obliged to sponsor that if you'd like to. Well, don't feel obliged, but do please sponsor that if you'd like to. And then the other thing which I did, which I've not done, I don't think ever on eBay, is that for the 7 days when you're a shop or a shop seller, it sort of displays your figures and your fees and stuff slightly differently, and it shows you like your breakdown of how much money you've had come into your account on a daily basis, a 7 day, a 30 day, and a 90 day. And this over the last 7 days, I've had just over £1,100 come into my account, and that's the first time that I've ever, I think, ever had over £1,000 in a week. So yeah, really pleased with that. I think it's down to largely what I sold over the weekend, having a really, really good weekend. But yeah, really pleased with that. It's the first time I think I've ever done that. So that was a sort of small milestone, and it would be great to be able to keep the sort of that number always at that, but I know it's going to drop off, I'm sure, and as soon as we get sort of partway through this month and people are sort of waiting for the next paycheck. But no, it was great to sort of get to that little milestone. So a couple of things which were really great to tick off, and yeah, thanks for all your support with the videos. Do keep asking questions, do keep commenting, liking, subscribing. Cheers guys, bye.